Hello, greetings and good morning. We are Crypto for Joe, cryptocurrency and blockchain ideas for your average Joe. Speaking this morning with Cayman Nava. Cayman, how are you?
Doing very well.
So there was some drama involving cryptocurrency very recently in the multi-trillion-dollar Senate bill, the infrastructure bill, which, you know, how much is actually going to be infrastructure? It's kind of funny. But there's a point in there where cryptocurrency is made is a featured headline. Can you talk about that for a moment?
Yeah, it was a big deal in the cryptocurrency community and kind of got a little bit more press even beyond that. So basically, kind of at the last minute, someone snuck in a little piece on cryptocurrency. Mm-hmm. They changed the rules. They were wanting to change the rules of what a broker is and what and a broker is someone who I guess is a middleman for doing a transaction, usually like a between like stocks and dollars.
Right. A credentialed, licensed guy.
Right. And there are certain tax reporting burdens for them. And it's not easy. Not everyone can be a broker. It requires, a lot of infrastructure. So the rules were changed so that a broker was now going to also be anyone who effectuated digital transfer effectuated the transfer of digital value. And this is a very, very broad, sweeping statement. Effectuating the transfer is like, what does that even mean? Everyone not everyone, but many players in the cryptocurrency ecosystem could be said to effectuate the transfer of value. And so the battle became about how to introduce an amendment to this to make it more sane, to bring it back down to something that probably they were trying to get to. So like, probably they wanted people at Coinbase, large, centralized, custodied actors. Mm-hmm. They want those people to report the people who are trading on there to the IRS to make sure that that everyone's paying their taxes. Mm-hmm. But in the widest reading of the bill, this could also include miners, stakers. It could include wallet developers. It could include developers of cryptocurrency in general. So all these people could be said to effectuate the transfer of the value, but almost none of them actually have the information required to send to the IRS. So like, how does a developer of cryptocurrency know who's trading on the platform? And mm-hmm. you have to get all their information, and like it's just not feasible and not what you even want. Mm-hmm. And so there was an amendment that was put forward that kind of carved out some exceptions for miners and stakers, for wallet applications, and for cryptocurrency developers. Mm-hmm. And this was looking like it was getting a lot of traction. And then at some other point, another competing amendment came in that only carved out an exception for proof of work miners. And it's like, wait a minute, what happened to everyone else? Well, then suddenly the Second Amendment got the approval of the White House and the Treasury Department. And then it seemed like, all was lost, and like this other amendment was going to get passed. Mm-hmm. There was an outpouring of people in the community contacting senators, and mm-hmm. There are people on the inside who know the senators, and I guess different crypto lobbying efforts that were underway. Mm-hmm. And in the kind of the final hour, there was an agreement made between these two competing amendments. Mm-hmm. And but at that point on the Senate floor, all discussion had passed. All times for discussion had passed, and the only way for the amendment to pass was through a unanimous consent. So if no one disagrees, then this amendment can go through. And unfortunately, the amendment did not go through because another senator from Alabama, he had his own amendment for military spending that did not go through, and so he decided to veto or to torpedo any of these other amendments that require unanimous consent. And so we're currently looking at the bill as it was originally stated, with this very vague anyone who effectuates the transfer of the value. And now that bill is going to the House, and we'll see what happens from there.
Well, first of all, I've never heard anybody use the word effectuate ever until now. So, and secondly, it's just like if these guys knew what they were doing, there would be no need for crypto. We wouldn't even have a cryptocurrency because they would be just doing the right thing with all of our currency. But since they never have, and since they've dropped the ball so heinously, that's the reason. So, going forward, as I've said, list all the things that they can possibly do to try to thwart it, and they will do all of those. And in the end, it looks like the crypto is still winning because people want it, people trust it. It's valid. It's at the top. The top cryptos have not been taken down.
Right. Well,
there's bugs.
There's like the positives of all this are, so one, this bill, even if it's passed as it is, doesn't go into effect until 2023. So there's still a lot of time, and there are, anticipated to be lawsuits if things do continue in the current language. But there was such an outpouring of support. Cryptocurrency crosses all the divides that are placed on us as a population. It crosses across all boundaries, and it's really in a lot of people's best interest to support it. And I think people were surprised. I think senators were surprised at the level of outpouring that came in when people realized that there was a threat. And so, this is probably just the beginning of the, crypto alliance or the crypto political movement. So,
right. Well, rock on, Average Joe. We seem to be winning at this point. So we'll celebrate that. We'll take that today. And thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.